Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is JJ. I post videos every Wednesday, so if you want more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an upload. This week I am going to be going through the 8 books that I read in April. So sit down, grab a coffee and get cozy. I'm going to put a picture on the screen of my rating process and my spice rating process, just because I know that everybody's rating processes are a little bit different. So the first book that I read was Never Lie by Frida McFadden, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed previous Frida McFadden books. I wasn't shocked by the plot twist. So usually, even if I am sort of able to figure out the plot twist before it actually happens, I still have that look of surprise and shock on my face when I read it. But that just didn't happen with this book. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I enjoyed it nonetheless. The next book that I read was A Stage Set for Villains by Shannon J. Spann. When I tell you that this is one of my favorite books that I've read this year, that is not an understatement. It suddenly just got really dark. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what's going on. This is the debut novel of Shannon J. Spann, and boy, was it a good one. I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait for her to release more, whether it be in this world or a different world. I feel like she's going to be an instant buy for me. I just really loved this book. The plot twist, like 3/4 of the way through, really threw me. I wasn't expecting it. And you know, as a book editor, I tend to be able to pick up plot twists early on, which doesn't diminish like other writers' plot twists, because like I still enjoy reading them. But I was not able to pick up this one. I'm looking forward to anything else that this author writes in the future. I was going to give it 5 stars, but I decided on 4, only because there was one tiny little flaw, in my personal opinion, only because I found it sometimes hard to follow along with. If you haven't read this book, without spoiling anything, there are parts in the book where like I don't know if you can see, but there's like, it's sort of written out as like a script type thing for some of the like speech, but then some of the speech isn't. And reading it for the first time was very confusing, like why some was sort of written out like a script and the others weren't. But yeah, that is the only fault I can place with this book. But with that being said, now that I've read the whole book and I understand what's going on, I get it now why it was set out like that. But yeah, while I was reading it, it was very confusing. So that's why I gave it a 4-star rating. I also gave it a 1 spice rating, only because this is I believe it's a YA, and there weren't any like sex scenes or anything like that, but there was kissing between the 2 main characters, which, just putting it out there, this slow burn, perfect. The next book that I read was The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and I also gave this one 3 stars. This has been one of my more enjoyed Frida McFadden books. I really enjoyed this one, and it gave me that normal feeling that Frida McFadden books usually do, of, you know, sort of seeing the ending coming but still being like, oh wow, like that's what actually was happening the entire time. So yeah, it was good. Next book was Caught Up by Navessa Allen, and I personally enjoyed it more than Lights Out. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or if I'm in the majority for that, but I ended up giving it 4 stars and a 4 spice rating. I found myself really loving Nico more than I loved Josh in the first book. I am a sucker for books that are like set in the same universe and have crossovers. So when Josh and Ali showed up in this book, I had a bit of a squeal because going into this book, I didn't know that they were part of the same universe. I didn't know that. So when Josh and Ellie showed up, I was like, oh my God, this is part of the same universe. So that was very exciting. I loved it. Next book that I read was Fourth Wing. So I have finally read this book. It has been on my TBR for ages, and it wasn't until like a few weeks ago I sat down on a Sunday morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning and just read this book. I read the entire thing in a day. I gave it a 3-star rating and a 3 spice rating. I will be buying the other books in the series, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. And for that reason, I wasn't racing out to buy the second and third book in the series. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. I know I'm going to enjoy the other 2 books in the series so far, and I believe she's writing a 4th. I could be wrong. I know she's writing something new. Whether it's a new Fourth Wing book, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. The next book that I read or attempted to read was a book called Beautiful Fiend, and I don't know what it was. I just could not get into it. I tried really hard, but yeah, I just couldn't get into it. And for that reason, I gave it a 1-star rating. I did give it a 4 spice rating though, even though I didn't finish it because the scenes that I did read were very spicy. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it, unfortunately. The next book that I read was Moments of Malevolence, and this book was good. It's part of a dark romance trilogy. They can be standalones, but you know, they're part of a series. I didn't feel as though the characters had much depth, but that's just a personal opinion. I know that other people really, really enjoyed these books. I ended up giving it 3 stars with a 4 spice rating. Some of the spicy scenes were great. Read this series if not just for the spice, because the spice is good. Which leads me to the last book that I read this month, which was the second book in the Hunter series, which is called Moments of Madness. And yeah, I ended up giving this one a 3-star rating and a 4 spice rating as well. But again, I didn't feel the characters had much depth, and I found that this series is very, very fast paced. Like within a couple of chapters of this book, the main girl is already like living with the male main character. So I would have preferred it to be a little bit more slow paced, but with that being said, I still enjoyed the storyline. I'm a dark romance girly through and through, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to hug the like button and follow me on my TikTok, where I post more videos just like this one every weekday. And yeah, I will see you next week, and remember to be friendly.